Hello, good people. Welcome to Free to Find Truth. This is both a video blog and a written blog. Both are linked down below in the notes. In the time I've been researching this blog, the purpose has been to expose what is going on within our media and our government and essentially the world. Um, when I first started this research, I was realizing this pattern of real events being placed into fiction well before they happened. And it actually, in my research, dates back to the Titanic, which was written about in a book called Futility, Wreck of the Titan, released in the year 1899. And it is about the largest ship ever built, named the Titan, which sinks on an iceberg traveling between the UK and United States, just as the Titanic did 13 years later on the night of April 14th and the early morning of April 15th, 1912. In that story of the Titanic, which has been retold in several different ways, something that's left out is 4 of the world's richest men died on that boat, supposedly. Which, if you can imagine today, would be names like Bill Gates, George Soros, Warren Buffett. Imagine if they all died in the same plane crash. Wouldn't you be curious? Anyhow, my research started with that, and it went to other books. There's a book that came out called The Final Jihad, written by the brother of the governor of Oklahoma, from when Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma City building, as it was reported. The brother who wrote that book wrote about the events of Oklahoma City and September 11th before either of them happened, and he named the main character Tom McVeigh, not far from Tim McVeigh, who was blamed for OKC bombing and who was later put to death at the age of 33. That number 33 is going to be important in this. So, in the time I was studying that, I learned about something called GEMATRIA, and once I learned about that, I really went to town, and that's mostly what this video blog's about, because this is a real skill that you can use to learn more about the world you live in. So, gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words, names, and phrases. It's credited to Pythagoras of the Greeks, who gave us a squared plus b squared equals c squared, who gave us the musical scale. But as many viewers have commented, Pythagoras stole it from the Egyptians, which is very likely true. Most things in our culture do trace back to the Egyptians. So anyhow, in the system of gematria, which I'm telling you the English language is based on, 26 is the God number. And if you think about English, it is 26 letters in length. A is the first, Z is the 26th. The word God is spelled G-O-D. Using the alphabetic order, G is the 7th letter, O is the 15th, and D is the 4th. If you add 7 plus 15 plus 4, it sums to 26, which is exactly what you do in gematria. Also in this system, a name should sum to 33. In English, name is spelled N-A-M-E. That's 14 plus 1 plus 13 plus 5 sums to 33. If you go on the web, there are gematria calculators. You can just plug in words, and they'll generate all sorts of different outcomes because there's different ways to calculate in gematria. What I focus on are 3 methods of calculation, and 2 of these methods you're not going to find on any gematria calculator out there. Why that is likely because nobody wants you to know about these methods, but they're very real. They're taught about in books such as this real book you can pick up. It doesn't normally come with this. I wrote that on there. But just look at the authors of this book. This book came out in the 60s. What does a dusty bunker make you think of? I guarantee you this book was written by ghost authors. It's written by the people I'm trying to expose. But anyway, it's going to teach you to do gematria the exact same way I'm about to teach you, which is the way Pythagoras did it. And when you apply it, you start to see just how much unfolds. So, real quick, let's do, for practice, let's do the word York. The word York. So, if a word has a K or V in it, a K or V, which York does, there's 3 ways to sum. This middle way is the 3rd way. If a word doesn't have a K or V, there's only 2 ways to sum, the top and the bottom. So anyway, let's go through it. York, Y is the 25th letter. Instead of adding 25, you can add 2 plus 5 equals 7. That's numerology, reducing to a single digit. O is the 15th letter. Instead of adding 1 plus 5, you add 6 for O. R is the 18th letter. Instead of adding 18, you add 9 because 1 plus 8 is 9. K is the 11th letter. Instead of adding 11, you add 1 plus 1 equals 2. In this method, York sums to 24, like the number of hours in a day. The next method, we do the exact same thing as we did up here, but we didn't reduce K. We reduced every letter but K. Why? Because there's an exception for K and V. In numerology, multiples of 11 are master numbers, and they do not need to be reduced in gematria. K is the 11th, V is the 22nd. So York becomes this, which sums to 33. Notice that 2 plus 4 from 24 sums to 6, as does 33. 3 plus 3 equals 6. That should always be the check. They should always reduce to the same single digit no matter what method you use. The other way is to just add the word with its full letter value. Y is the 25th letter, O is the 15th, R is the 18th, K is the 11th. Add it up this way, sums to 69. 6 plus 9 equals 15. 1 plus 5 for 15 equals 6. So all three methods reduce to 6. York is a 6 word with other values of 24, 33, and 69. New York happens to be the 11th state, and as I just said, 11 is a master number. So New York actually has some more special stuff going on. It's one of the most coded states in gematria if you really look at it. The abbreviation NY is 14 plus 25. That sums to 39. New York, with this reduced method like we just did, sums to 39. And it is the empire state. The word empire in gematria sums to 39. With regards to the number 39, the United Nations in New York City is 39 floors tall. On the Declaration of Independence, there were 39 signers. On June 8th, 1789, if you add that date, 6 plus 8 plus 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, it sums to 39. On that day, James Madison made 39 proposals to the Constitution, which became the Bill of Rights and amendments as we know them. So, coming back to this, notice that name and code name both equal 33. So do words like rock star. Most musician names sum to 33. And that's what's cool about this gematria, you guys, is it is so widespread in this world we live in, but nobody's been telling us. But now that you know how to do it, you can find it. In religion, it is just full of gematria. The Bible itself, get this, the Bible is 66 books in length. 39 Old Testament, that number 39, 27 New Testament, combined 66. The first book is Genesis. The gematria of Genesis sums to 33. If you write out the word 33, Thirtytree, turn it to numbers with the reduced method like we did, sum it, it equals 66. The first Bible printed is credited with a March 22nd, 322, like Skull and Bones, 1455, so the year 55 printing date. You'd write that 32255. What's interesting about the number 55 is that in numerology, in gematria, the word numerology sums to 55. 55. And in numerology, the number 4 is the number of foundation. In the Bible, the fourth book is titled Numbers. And the Bible, you guys, I'm telling you, it is a giant number code. And those numbers are found in our nation, in other religions, in science, in geography, in leaders, in celebrity names, in sports, in music, and in movies. If you subscribe to this blog, I've already given you a little taste of all this. If you go to my written blog, I have so many posts. The evidence is overwhelming. What's really trippy is also how this stuff impacts our own lives. I've learned some stuff about myself in the time I've been studying this. And one of the most curious things to happen to me is this past April 7th, 2014, 2 women texted me really out of nowhere. They texted me out of nowhere. I hadn't heard from them in about 2 years. I dated both of them briefly. It was a nice time, but, it didn't work out. Anybody who's dated knows how that goes. But these are their names. I won't give away their last names. Their names were Maddie and Trish. And I did the gematria of their names that day because I should note, in the study of this gematria, the three numbers that seem to be the most important above all are 33, 47, and 74. So on April 7th, this date 4/7, I got text from two girls and I thought, how weird. But it got even weirder. When I decoded their names, I could not believe what I saw. And then it made me think even more deeply. I met my current girlfriend, neither of these girls, on the 4th of July 2013. Myself personally, I'm from Oregon, the 33rd state. The gematria of Oregon sums to 74. And think about this. Jesus from the Bible was crucified on the cross at the age of 33. Both the words Jesus and cross sum to 74 in gematria. Joshua is the English translation of Jesus. Joshua sums to 74. As do words like Lucifer and occult. Going back to this, on science, the qualifying speed for a hurricane is 33 meters per second or 74 miles per hour. Arsenic's the 33rd element. The word arsenic equals 33 in gematria. It has an atomic weight of 74. I've told you about Oregon and New York. There's many more. Leaders of the world changed their name to 33 names. Bill Clinton was not born Bill Clinton. He was born Bill Blythe. His biological father was murdered May 17th, 1946. If you add up that date, it sums to 33. So does the name Clinton, which sums to 33, which traces back to the original governors of New York, which was established as New Amsterdam on February 2nd, the 33rd day of the year. Also in geography, Mexico is the only state, or not state, only nation in North America that has a 33 name. The word Mexico equals 33 in gematria. The word Mexican equals 33 in gematria. And the Mexican-American War ended on February 2nd, the 33rd day of the year. So many 33s in big wars, guys. It's because they're all scripted by bankers. And the word banker equals 33 in gematria. As for sports, the word athlete equals 26, like the God number, and the word athletic equals 33. In sports, you see all sorts of superstars have 33 names, such as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird. Michael Jordan specifically retired on January 13th, 1999, unexpectedly. If you sum that date, it sums to 33, but it's even creepier. The date 113 for January 13th, the name Michael Jordan sums to 113, as does the name Kobe Bryant, a common sum for major celebrities on this planet. And you start seeing that this trademark is in lots of athlete names across all sports: tennis, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, cricket, you name it. It's out there. The word cricket itself, which gave birth to baseball, sums to 33. So anyway, you guys, this stuff is through and through. Please subscribe. Watch my other posts. The World Series is coming up. Yoenis Cespedes was just traded to the Boston Red Sox. He was previously an Athletic. Remember, the word athletic equals 33. So does the name Yoenis. So does his life number. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's just one of many, many examples that are happening all the time. By learning about this gematria, your eyes will be open to what is really happening around you. If you've seen the movie They Live, the 80s film, this gematria thing is a lot like that. All right, until next time, people, take care. And also, please subscribe.